What's up, friends? Happy Friday. Well, we kind of wished it was going to be a happy Friday, right? Things were looking a bit okay for a second there, and now not so much. So I'm going to be talking about price action today. Now, if you're new here, Fridays are a really chill day. It's not like my other videos that I do during the week. I prefer to come here completely unprepared and just do live charts with you guys so that you can kind of see and understand how my thoughts evolve when looking at charts for the first time. So that's what we're going to be doing today. Bitcoin was looking like it may form a little bit of a short-term reversal, but as I'm watching it right now, it's looking like that's potentially not going to happen. So we're going to have a look at that, but let me know how you guys are feeling in the comments. Let me know where you're from as well. I'm going to take a quick sip of water. And thank you for being here on a Friday also. Is everyone excited for the weekend? When 96? Maybe soon. Happy Friday. Yes, everyone's good. Awesome. All right, let's go and have a look at Bitcoin first. Let's look at Bitcoin first. So the chart that I have open currently is the 1 hour time frame. This is where I was looking for. Look, I'm going to say I was looking for a pivot, but I don't want you to assume that that was going to be the pivot at the end. I was expecting, actually, let me explain this from the start. Where should I zoom out to? Let's go and zoom out at this entire TA here. 1 hour time frame, yes. So as you can see here, these are the levels according to the strategy that I trade. And this was the M formation where a lot of people got a new short entry. Now, my personal short entry is from up here. So you can see, hopefully you can see that here in this. Wait, can you see that? Here. Okay, so here's my short entry, 124,679, which was pretty close to the all-time high. Did I know that was going to be the all-time high at the time? No, absolutely not. I just literally saw a head and shoulder pattern at the end of a 3-level rise, and I followed my trading strategy and I opened a short position. Just so happened that following that, that's when we had that big liquidation event. So I did not expect it to turn out to be a massive trade, but it just did. And sometimes you get lucky like that, right? So I'm just going to hide this so we don't have so much rubbish on the chart. But you can see at this point in time, that was a 31-to-1 risk to reward trade, meaning whatever I risked on this trade, I made 31 times that amount. So let me just hide that. Then after this, things were a bit tricky. We talked about the trapping volume formation, and the trapping volume formation did give 3 levels of rise, but they turned out to only be a retracement. And you can see they only came back to this prior resistance here. So even though we were getting rises here, it was very weak rises. And that led to another, well, so far, in my opinion, this is only 2 levels of drop, which is why I think it's possible that there is more downside to come. But we're at a very key area. And so that's why I was also looking for pivots. Because what you can see here, I'm going to get rid of all this stuff on my chart in a second, but I kept it here on purpose because I wanted to explain it to you. I've been waiting until today to explain it to you. So initially, when we had this M formation, my target for the M formation was right here, this box right here where it says level 1 target. Can you see? Yeah, you can see that. And that was based on this prior candle. So if you are a regular watcher of my content, then you will understand that this candle here is what I call the battle zone after a tight period of consolidation and then volume comes in. So that's why that became my level 1 target. And this here is the level 1 that went to that target. So that was job done, right? Then that meant I was expecting a retracement before potential level 2. And so my level 2 target was this next one here. And that was based on the trap traders right here in this candle that ended up creating the trapping volume formation. So when we go to the right now, you can see that we actually went right through that. Now, here's the problem, because I personally at the time, now this was prior to any price action, so I thought we would go level 2 here, retrace and go level 3 to here, right? As you can see now that time has played out, that's not what happened. The level 2 went all the way down to what was supposed to be my level 3 target. So it's a much bigger trade. So now this one's gone. So the problem with this is that this is no longer level 3, it's actually level 2. Okay, and so we are keeping an eye out simply because it's a round number, so we're at the 100K region. But when we first hit this 100K, I said to my community, I was live trading with them at the time, that round numbers are very suspicious. There's always going to be initial buyers and sellers at round numbers. That's how it always happens. And so sometimes that can be set up as a fake move. But it's when we repeat that level that you then decide whether the level's going to hold or if it's going to break down. So the problem that I have right now, like if you want to be bullish, the problem that I have right now is that if the levels play out on the 1 hour time frame, there should be another drop to come. That's number one. And if we don't hold here, then that's going to be another thing. But also, it means now, because we're repeating the level, this is where we have to assess the price action to get confident as to whether or not we're going to bounce. Now, a lot of traders, including myself, did take a chance in this zone, and that's up to you to decide whether or not it's worth it for you to do that. In my opinion, it was. I only took a very, very small risk trades. They're probably going to get stopped out before the end of this stream, but I don't care, like, because my personal thing was at the time, now I think it was a bad decision, but at the time, my personal thing was, okay, this is what price was doing, right? And it was worth taking an entry off this higher low in anticipation of the trend potentially changing, because we're in a key area. But you don't know at the time. Here, all you can go off is the candles at the time, and you don't know if momentum is going to come in. So after you get your entry, what you're waiting for next is the momentum to come in, which is looking like it didn't. And this is why, because it was such a tricky area, this is why I took a chance on a couple trades, but because my confidence in it wasn't super high, I took lower risk, so very low risk. I really don't care if I get stopped out. It's basically practice money. And with the goal that if the momentum came in, I could then add to those trades later. So momentum's not coming in, so I'm not adding to them. And I'm now preparing for a potential level 3 drop on the 1 hour time frame. Okay, let me catch a breath. All right, what's going on in the perma bulls no longer exist to pump? Maybe the perma bulls are waiting a bit lower. Who knows? Happy Friday. My favorite trader. Oh, that's so nice. Thank you. Why can't BTC run up only like ZEC? I know we all wish for that, right? Okay, all good. Guys, if you are here and you getting value from this stream, be sure to smash that like button because it really does help the channel grow. Okay, so you guys know my thoughts. It might even break down on this stream. So that means we have to look for targets then if we're going to have a level 3, because like I said, level 2 went further than I thought. So zooming out to the daily time frame, we created a lower low since that liquidation week. We know we've got these 2 high zones of liquidity. I don't really want to call out numbers because they're going to sound scary. But let's focus on this first one here. It's between about 97.5 to 101.7, which is the zone that we're in right now. The problem that I have, however, is that even if it took that out, even if it took that out, we could then bounce from there, still get another daily time frame higher low that might reject the 50 or the 200 EMA and still be bearish and come down for the lower liquidity zone. That's a more that's a more long-term thing, but that's absolutely possible. Now, a lot of people ask me, because I said to you that 100K was my line in the sand and where I'm not going to hold spot Bitcoin if we broke there, and we've broken there. So a lot of people ask me, did I sell? Yeah, I sold. I actually don't know if I'll have it. Let me see if I can find it. I won't take too long. But somewhere here, basically it was over. Oh, I won't find it. I write in here too much. But the moral story is I sold over the weekend. Now, again, to be clear, I have Bitcoin that I keep for multi-cycle and that doesn't get touched. This was just my Bitcoin that I have for this cycle. So I sold some, like a lot of it, which, to be honest with you, I felt great. It felt great. And I really heavily reduced my altcoins. I think I only have about 6 or 7 of them now. And, you know, it doesn't matter because let me tell you my strategy. You should know it, but I'll tell you in case you've never heard it before. Let's just talk about worst case scenario, what I will do if the bull market continues eventually, okay? So let's just say, this is all hypothetical. Let's just say price goes up here and then it comes down and liquidates here, and then we get a W formation and the bull market continues. What's going to happen here is people are going to, no, it won't happen here. What's going to happen here is people are going to start saying all those people that were bearish, they missed out, unfollow them. They had no idea. I told you the bull market wasn't over. Like that's what's going to start happening, right? But what those people don't realize is that someone like me, I keep a little bit of an asset. So let's just, in this example, it's Bitcoin. And I trade this on exchanges that have something called, it's either called coin margin futures or inverse futures. And they both mean that you're using the actual altcoin or crypto as the margin for the trade and your profits are collected in that margin. You guys are going to love what I'm about to tell you. So let's just use as an example, I told you that I was selling prior to getting 100K. So let's just say this was my sell zone. Let me write it out. Wait, hold on. Sell zone. Okay, so damn it, my spelling. Okay, so this was my spot sell zone. Okay, so let's just say I sold 1 Bitcoin. Then price dumps down further and then this happens and I'm like, oh, we're bullish, we're going to go again. Well, I've only sold not all. Let's just say I have 2 and I sold 1. I've still got 1 left. So now with that and proper risk management, of course, I can open a long position with coin futures and ride that for as long as possible. And I'm going to make back that potentially that 1 Bitcoin, or I will make profits in Bitcoin. Even though I sold here, I basically get free Bitcoin back because I've used it as margin and I'm not spot buying back in. So I'm not, selling here and then buying back here. I'm selling here and opening a leveraged, can be a low leverage, can be a 2 or 3, that's irrelevant. But I'm opening a leveraged coin margin futures trade and I'm getting more Bitcoin back. So that's why I have no hesitation in taking profit above 100K, because even if I've taken that Bitcoin out of my portfolio, it's going to go back in when I see a really good high time frame opportunity to open a long position, rather than waiting through this where we might go down to 88.5, right? And hoping that the cycle's not over. Does this make sense? All I can do is tell you how I personally think about the market and how I personally manage my own crypto and how I make my own decisions. I'm not telling you to do this stuff, but this is what makes logical sense to me. It means that, in periods like this, I don't have to worry and I don't have to ask myself, is the bull market over? It's irrelevant to me. I'm going to make the Bitcoin back or the altcoin, whatever it is that I want to trade. I'm going to make it back when the signs are there to turn bullish again. Yeah. So, okay. Anyway, so that's the long story. So worst case scenario is that around 88.5 is where our major liquidity is. Worst case scenario. I'm not saying we're going there. I'm just telling you where liquidity is. And when I look at the daily time frame, this here is for sure a drop level 1. This is a retracement. We're in a drop level 2. Again, it's possible that we go up first eventually. Maybe not this week, maybe next week, I don't know. We go up first. If going up creates a lower high, we then have to prepare that there is another drop to come. So that's why I got out. Now, do I want to tell you anything? Yes, I do want to tell you something about the 4-hour. So, so confusing doing coin margin trades. In what way? Ellen says, just subscribed. Thank you and welcome. Trade Travel Chill Bulgaria says, solid plan. Coin margin futures trading, is this only on some platforms? Yes. So I'm pretty sure it's on BTCC. Let me double check. Yes, here. So on BTCC, you can do it here. By the way, we've got this bonus, 10% bonus on your first deposit. And then they also have trading volume rewards at the moment. So you can get access to this if you join BTCC using the link in the description down below. But you can also, actually, you also get VIP2 trading fees instantly if you use our link. And you can trade other markets. So you can trade like S&P if you want, gold, all that other stuff. So you can do it there, but you can also do it on BitGet is one that I often use. I believe they have it on Bybit, but I've never traded on Bybit, so I don't know. And there's probably others. There's probably others, but do your research. You'll see. It's either called coin margin or inverse perpetual. Ryan's here. Wow, it's been so long since I've seen you, Ryan. Ryan used to be one of the teachers, one of the traders inside of our Discord. I hope you're doing well, my friend. Much love from Portugal. Hello, nice to see you. Is Head and Shoulders on the 15-minute? I'll get there. Let me just continue with 4 hour. We'll work our way down. So as you can see on the 4 hour, I do believe that we're only in a level 2. Should mean more downside to come. However, I do think eventually we're going to get a bounce before we get it. And the only way that I would be of the opinion that a level 3 is not going to play out on the 4 hour is if we get back above this area of interest. That's the key area. So 110 to like 111.5, that's the very key area. But if we get a bounce on the 4 hour, wherever we happen to get it, and we create yet another lower high under this area of interest, again, get prepared for a level 3 drop. I do think there's going to be a short-term long trade soon. Like, if not today, probably not. We'll see in a second. But if not today, I don't want to say maybe over the weekend, but maybe next week. Maybe next week. Because there has to be, everyone's so bearish, there has to be that moment of getting people to flip on that and think that they're wrong. So it'll come eventually. So there you go. You've seen the 4 hour counts. Now the 1 hour, oh, Pionex has it too. Okay, there you go. Yeah, they do have it. I knew that. Why didn't I say that? Pionex has it, and they also have it as GridBots as well. So let's go through the 1 hour counts, which I've told you already. So level 1 drop, that was the retracement. Level 2, we're currently in level 3, but we were hoping potentially for a W, and it doesn't look like we're going to get it. So this was the first side up to the 50 EMA. That's normal. That's great. This was the second side, created a higher low and kept the trap traders trapped. That's great. But the problem here is the initial high of the day today rejected the 50 EMA. So that was your sign there. Like if you took a chance on longs yesterday, that was probably your sign to exit those trades. Okay, do I want to get rid of this? I'll keep this. I'll keep it. I'll keep it. So then in the boardroom waiting to see where liquidity builds. Exactly. Where it wicks, it sticks. That's a good saying. All right. So you asked me about the 15-minute. So what are we in now? We've got 4 hours of UK to go. So let's assess what has happened today. So we know that US created the spike low on Thursday. Thursday is usually midweek reversal day, but lately that's been happening on Friday. So you have to pay attention to this because it doesn't always stay the same. So that was a good start for the 15-minute. Then what happened? We've moved out. We've created the initial high of the day. Now that happened in Asia. So that's Asia price action. And so far, UK is taking Asia price action back. But at this point in time, okay. So at this point in time, UK has not swept the liquidity either side. And so that's going to be UK's job today. So what happens is Asia creates its range. And as it's creating the range, it's creating liquidity here, right? People's stop losses and liquidation levels. And it also creates liquidity here. So UK's job is to come and take one side. Looks like it may potentially take the bottom. So if UK comes and takes the bottom, that will be the weekend trap. It's possible US reverses to the upside, but just to trap and take the others. I'm not saying that will be an epic long trade. It would be a very short-term scalp at best. So let me go and have a look at the what am I doing? We'll go and have a look and see if there's these orders are still here or any other significant orders. Okay, what's going on here? So actually earlier today I was watching this, and was it today? Yesterday, I think. And here in this zone, millions and millions and millions of long orders came in. So it was looking potentially good, but that doesn't seem to be the case right now. Our highest buy orders closest to price currently is at the even 100K, but they're reducing, so that's a problem. And then under that, 98.5, 98, 94 has significant orders. So 94, 95 could be a level 3 target eventually. I don't think that would happen today, but it could be a target eventually if we end up breaking this low. So just keep an eye out on those numbers. But yeah, look, it's not looking good. Yeah, here we go. We're about to sweep that liquidity. So the trick here, this is good. I'm glad we're doing this live. The trick here now is to see how price reacts when that liquidity gets swept. So I'm just going to keep this chart open for a bit so we can watch it. And then I'm just going to see if you guys have any comments. If you have any comments or questions, post them away. I'm happy to answer. I'll also have a look where the liquidity is actually. Okay, let's add this. No, that's not what I want to do. It's actually pretty small numbers below price. That's interesting. So, what are my thoughts on that? If it's low numbers, I believe that we're probably closer to the end. And look at the numbers. Oh, look at the numbers above price. So look at this. Let me stretch it out. So when you look at these liquidity numbers below, you'll notice, so you're looking at these white numbers, that they're all pretty much under 100 million. So like 74, 80, 91, etc. When you then go to the liquidity above price, see how they're all well and truly above 100 million? They're 190, 180, 200, etc. So this is the liquidity of short positions, right? So that gives you an idea of sentiment, meaning people are very, very, very bearish right now and opening short positions, meaning eventually this here is going to become the target of the market maker. And so when you look below price, yeah, maybe they want to come and get that. And that's when we use our levels to decide the likelihood of that. And if it's your belief that there is still level 3 to come, like it's my belief, then they may come and take this before any reversal. Some of this, not necessarily all of it. The other thing you can do then is go, okay, well, how much is likely? And you go and have a look at the delta. Now, I know what you're going to say. If you're not part of TTC, you're like, but how do I do all of this if I'm not in TTC? Well, it's a perk of being part of TTC, is getting access to these tools. So what do you want me to tell you? I can show you on YouTube, but to have them live, you need them. So anyway, the delta's only at 7 billion, minus 7 billion to the shorts. So definitely if they want to build up more liquidity, they'll send it down before up. Flying Hamster says the low numbers are there because people have lost most of their money, but they haven't. They've put it in short positions. They've put it in short positions. That's the problem. We love seeing new short positions at level 3 because it's a hint that something is going to reverse eventually. All right, so we need more time to see how the candles react here now that we're attempting to sweep the Asia low. So I might look at something else while I'm looking at your questions. Why did you leave Banter? Like, legit reason. Look, I could get into it, but the moral of the story is I made a decision when I left that my goal for being public on social media is to help people genuinely learn to trade, because I have changed my life through trading, and I just want to focus on that. Like, I could for sure get into the gossip and I could for sure go on about it, but it's so unimportant to me. And the moral of the story is I made a really good decision for myself and my community, and I'm happy with it, and we're happy with it. And all we've been doing is focusing on trading ever since, and that's paid off, and that's it, you know? So there's really nothing else to say. Like, everything else is just irrelevant. So anyway, let's look at ETH. So I hope that answers it. That's as much as I'm willing to answer it, because this is not going to take up my time. Okay. So in ETH, I think this here was probably level 1. This here is likely level 2. And then let's have a look at new liquidity to see if there's going to be an ETH level 3. Hold on a second. It's not showing me much, which is, I suppose, a good sign. So that could mean that, again, like I was saying before, once this bleed is over, they might send it up before down. The 800 EMA would be a target in that case. But look, a lot of the liquidity below price on ETH, it's been taken. And that's a good sign. Maybe there's not too much more damage to come, you know? Let's have a look at smaller time frames. Yeah, see, the levels are pretty clear, and it doesn't really look fully over yet. Let's have a look at 1 hour. And what I'm going to do is, okay, so we can see here since the high of the week, okay, this is our level 1 drop, retracement to 200 EMA, level 2, and there is liquidity below. But I would also, let me get rid of it now. So this liquidity is down to about 3K, but let me get rid of it because I want to show you something else. At this point in time, inside that major zone of liquidity, which is here, 3061 to 3376, the zone we're in right now, we do currently have trapped traders in this wick. Okay. And if they remain trapped, then we should get a higher low. So we may come down from where we are now, but if we create a higher low somewhere in this trap trader zone, that might be the pivot that happens from there, because there's really not a ton of liquidity below price, as we've seen. So I would be keeping an eye out on ETH, and that means I also want to go then and have a look at the dominances. Push it up so I can exit my long. Okay, so let's go and have a look at what's going on here. Okay, let's talk about the pros. So what the pros are, Bitcoin dominance looks like it's rejecting this and starting to head down. But at this point in time, it's still within the trend. So we want to see this break down even more. But the fact that it's moving down, it's probably the reason why the alts are a little bit more stable right now. But the bad news is that if the Bitcoin dominance is coming down, it could be shifting to stablecoin dominance. And the stablecoin dominance looks pretty bullish. So we want to see a rejection in this zone, again, of the stablecoin dominance. We're wicking into it right now. We want to see it not be able to break through that. It's definitely worth keeping an eye on. You know, if you're making long-term decisions, we want to see the stablecoin dominance data breakdown. So Bitcoin dominance is potentially positive soon for alts. US stablecoin dominance is currently bad for alts and the crypto market as a whole, really. So then we want to have a look at the total minus everything else. And it doesn't look good. It doesn't look good. So you can see it's very clear here, right? You can see the pivot, the levels, the M formation, the breakdown, the lower high, the second breakdown. It's potentially a third breakdown to go. But again, might go up before it comes down. So that's, you know, when I say might go up before it comes down, that's probably a one to 3 week thing. So at some point in the next 1 or so weeks, if we start heading up, we have to reassess if it looks like a real trend or not when it happens. But my feeling right now is that any move up is just a potential move up to a lower high before further downside. Okay, so that's all I have to say on that. And these are all reasons why I decided to just heavily reduce spot and just short-term trade in the meantime, because they've been really good short-term trades. You get in, you get out, you take your profit, you're done, you move on, you look for the next setup. You do that slowly multiple times a week or whatever, then you slowly compound over time, and you don't have to worry about waking up to, you know, big things like this where now you're in a drawdown and you have to hope to just get back to break even. Okay, Professor Carter wants to have, we need to short ZEC. We need to, let's have a look. ZEC. I mean, isn't it, yeah, look, that's suicide, my friend. That is suicide. Let's have a look at this. I've not looked at this at all. Holy crap. I knew that it was massively bullish, and therefore there's no point looking at it because I don't chase price. If I'm not in prior, then I'm not interested. I mean, what do you want me to say about this? You can't do TA on this. On the daily, that looks like it's got another rise to go. This is one. This is a retracement we're into. So eventually when it pulls back, there might be another one. You know what? I wonder if we can get levels on this. Maybe not. Oh, we can. I mean, that seems like pretty deep pullbacks in, yeah, so I don't know. We'll leave that for now. What else? Sorry. 4 hour. Look, it's basically in, is this the right? Yeah, this is the oldest chart, I think, I hope. So now that it's made it past these 3 fib levels, you're looking at 200, 250, 300, but it is looking on the 4 hour, like we've still got 2 hours to go, but we're starting to see wicks around that level here. Let me mark it out. So you'll start to go to, I'm not saying anyone should short this. I would more so say there's probably eventually more in it, and I would let a retracement happen and then ride the trend, trade the trend of it. I don't think it's clever to short this personally. So I would be waiting to see if we get rejection here, start to prepare for the pullback, maybe back to the 50 EMA or somewhere just a little bit above it. Then there may be a long position if it holds there. Worst case 200, but I doubt it. But if it holds there, there may be a long position that could then take you up to the further levels. But yeah, this is very, very bullish. What else? What else? Let's look at Solana. What's Solana doing, the poor guy? Poor Solana. Get rid of this. Let's see where Solana's liquidity is. Can you have a look at ICP? Okay. That doesn't look too bad, actually. Let's explore this further then. Solana might refill the whole week. 1, 2, we're in 3 now. So it may refill the whole week and then find support. Yeah, that's what I think might happen. Okay, let's have a look at 1 hour. See, the levels feel really clear, right? Like you can see very clear drops, very clear consolidation or retracement, very clear drops. So it just feels like this is retracement. There really should be another one. I mean, I could be wrong, of course, always, but it really looks like there should be. The only thing is the trap traders are here. Here. And we haven't returned to them yet. So that's really the only positive side. However, again, you got to go down in small timeframes to find it. So the smaller time frame you're doing your TA on, the less macro expectation you have. So even if we hold today and let's say US gives us a move to the upside, it would still, you'd ride that trade, of course, because we're just trading. Like I said, we're compounding small profits along the way, but it might still be overall bearish. Do you know what I mean? Because at some point we're going to have a move to the upside to take topside liquidity, but there's so many battle zones along the way, all these vectors here. It's going to have a lot of trouble unless something super bullish news-wise comes in. You know, if something bullish news-wise happens, like maybe the government shutdown ends, for example, then it will just smash through all this stuff and not care because fast move down, fast move up. But you got to have bullish news in order for that to happen. So this is why I think right now in this period of time, it's the right move to take chances if you can afford to take chances, number one. And if not, number two, just be around for confirmed entries as a second option because, yeah, at any moment something could change. But and then when it does, you want to be in on that, number one. But number two, then you want to then assess the price action at the time to decide if it's real or fake. No one really can tell you that in advance. If it's fake, it's going to be our highest price to get out before the end. So we have to pay such close attention right now. And that's all I'm focused on. I don't care about anything else on X. I couldn't give a shit. Right now, it's really about just trying to preserve as much capital as possible so, you know, we don't have regrets. And we find out, like, is the bull market over or not? Not that I care, because I'm a trader. I trade short, long, we make money either way. I'm actually really excited for the bear market because it's easier, number one. And number two, the sentiment of people is really good because in a bear market, it tends to only be traders that hang around, like people that understand that, yeah, we can make money either way and it's more fun. So I'm looking forward to it anyway. Anyway, that's it. That was my rant. Anything else you guys want to look at? I'm not going to bring up coins if I've not heard of them because I just don't know if they're like scammers and I just have to be careful. But XRP I have heard of. So let's have a look at that one. Okay, so I'm going to get all this off. Let me just, where is this? Okay, let's hide. Let's hide. I don't want to get rid of it. Just want to hide it. Okay. Now, I'm going to redo this liquidity in a second, but I just want to mark out important areas first. Okay. Guys, next week, tomorrow morning, I'm going to Maldives, which I can't wait. And I'm going to try my hardest to still do videos, but it's not like I'm not going for a holiday. I'm going for like a business retreat. So we'll be very, very busy there, but I'm going to do my best. But if I'm not around, you know why. It means I've just been on, yeah, I just haven't been able to get away. But I'll do when I can stuff on X, and then of course I'll always be in the Discord anyway. Jelly, yeah, I know, I can't wait. It's gonna be so nice. Okay, so let me just think about this. I mean, look, the moral story is it doesn't look good, but we're at support, so it is the right place to look for signs signs of reversal eventually, but it would have taken, wait, let me readjust this now. See, it doesn't even really need to be anywhere. There's really not a lot of liquidity left, which is a good sign. So let's go look at a smaller time frame. Oh, okay. Now I think I know what's going on. I think I know what's going on. So level 1 drop, retracement, level 2 retracement, level 3 was the liquidation event, and now we're creating a H pattern. So a H pattern comes back to either the body close, which in this case it couldn't for many alts because that wick was way too large, or it comes back to somewhere around halfway of the wick. So let's just measure out where that is. Or it comes back to the bottom, which we hope it doesn't do that. Okay, so I've already marked it. So this is halfway of that wick. But again, there has to be liquidity there. Okay, what else do I want to say about this? 4 hour, 1 hour. It's the same as Sol. For a short-term trade, you're waiting to see, and the trade would be long, you're waiting to see if these traders remain trapped right here. Okay. The liquidity has not been swept either side of Asia today. So you still got the 4 hours left of UK. So you'll be watching UK to see if it takes Asia's high or low. If it takes Asia's low, right? So that means it has to move to the downside, but it keeps these traders trapped. You're looking for something maybe like a stop hunt or some kind of move that breaks just below the initial low of the day, but then closes back up within it. And if you get that, you could take a day trade long, but just don't start thinking you've caught the bottom, because we won't know that until next week. So really, all the alts I'm looking at are telling the same story, and that's sort of how I would play it, is just identify your trap traders on the 1 hour or the 15 minute. See today if UK sweeps the low. If it does, you know why. Sweeps the low but keeps the trap traders trapped, then maybe it will be in UK, maybe it will be in US. You might then get your confirmation to go long, but treat it as a day trade. That's my advice, and it's not advice. That's my plan. That's my plan, and I'm sticking to it. Yeah, okay. Anything else? Phil ran today, didn't it? So there's no point. If something's already gone, yeah, Phil's up 20%. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? You missed it. It's not really anything to talk about. Why does everyone want quant? Do I have that in my list? Oh, yeah, I do. It's interesting. Damn. It's messy. It's messy. Okay, for me, the level, sorry, the levels aren't clear on this. So it's not something I would care about. However, because I just like to look for things that are giving me easy levels. However, it's easier on the 4-hour than anything else because it's broken out and create a higher high. It's broken the 50 EMA with volume. It's run to the 200 like it's meant to. So what it's meant to do next is retrace or consolidate and then give you the next level. So providing the retracement gives you a higher low, that would be confirmed bullish. It may be in the process of building a 4-hour flag yet, hasn't happened yet. You know, could do something like this, which would take time because it's a 4-hour chart. So I don't think you'd get your entry today, but that's what I would be looking for. And then if we, yeah, somewhere around the 50 to 38 and also 50 EMA. So maybe it does over some time, it does something like this. That's when you'd be bullish if it created the higher low within the flag. Right now you're neutral, waiting for something like this to happen. That's how I'd play that. Crap market, eh? No shit. I know, I feel ya. Guys, let me just tell you quickly about my plan for the bots, the grid bots on Pionex, because I just want you to be aware of what's going on. So you guys know that I have my hedge strategy with them. Some of my personal bots, if they fall out of the range, like for my long ones, if they fall out of the range, I don't care. I'm not going to do anything. If they hit my stop loss, I don't care. I'm out. I'm fine. If they turn around and we get that move up, I'm going to be looking to take profits on my long bots. So yeah, just keep an eye, because if we get that confirmation and we get the W and we are bullish maybe next week, that's actually going to be a good time to set up your bots, but short term, if you're into it, of course. And then just ride the trend while it's there, but just don't treat it as long term until it's proven to be. And yeah, and then just be ready to get out of them. But in the meantime, I always forget to mention this, but if you are new here, we created a 100% free bot trading course for people who need it. And you don't have to have experience at all to do this course. You can be complete, absolute beginner. Like I said, it's 100% free. All you need to do is join Pionex with the link in the description. And then once you do that, you just scroll down here. You can have a read of all this lovely information that we put together for you. But you just click here on get access, create your account, and then you can go in and learn it. You'll do this whole course in under an hour, and before the end, you'll know how to set up your own bots. So it's 100% free education. You might as well do it. And then, yeah, because like I said, like I treat bots as like extra side hustle money. It's not like my big profit thing. Trading is where I make my profits, but the bots are good as side hustle money. If you miss out on a trade, at least the bots are doing their job in the meantime, and it calms you down so you can kind of, you know, focus on trading. But if you do want that, you need to sign up with Pionex first, and they've got 100 USDT deposit bonus going on right now. And also you can use your deposit bonus to try out a bot and just play around. So you're using not your own money, and then they have trading rewards as well. So check that out if you're interested, because especially now we're going into the weekend, if you're wanting to study the course, know what you're doing, and then next week, if we happen to get that pivot, you can set up a bot and just do it with a little bit, like just try it out first, see, understand what you're doing, and then it may be something that you want to add to your trading strategy. But just a warning that at this point in time, if you're entering, copying, setting up your own, whatever you do, I personally think that long bots are short term. If I change my mind on that, I will tell you at the time, but we need price action in order to change my mind on that. Okay, do I have anything else? Enjoy your holiday trip. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. I'm looking forward to it. My bots got rinsed. Everyone's did, dude. And it's not even bots that got rinsed. Like every trade, every leverage trade got rinsed. It is what it is. We got to move on, you know? It's like holding on to an X, like let it go. Let it go. It happened. There's nothing else we can do. We got to move on and we got to keep going if we still believe in what we're doing here. Will you make short bots for the bear market? So I currently already have a Bitcoin short bot, but I don't recommend you copy it because I do think we're at the point of a pivot. And so I would rather you wait till you think that pivot is in, look at the long bots for short term. If we ride that up and we get a macro lower high, you can then switch it over, take your profit on that and copy the short one. That's how I personally would play the next, I don't know, year. No, not saying. I know no one wants to hear we're going into a bear market, but just get ready for it. All right, guys, I'm going to leave it there. I hope that this was valuable to you and help set you up for the weekend. Have an amazing time. Like I said, I'll do my hardest to do updates, even if they're 5-7 minute updates. I'll do my best, but no promises. And if not, I'll see you guys in a week's time. But Pedro's still here, Janet's still here, and yeah, see you guys on the next one.